Hello and welcome. I'm Carrie Metkowski, the founder of Carrie TV, the place to be to get the best tips, tools, and techniques to help you create a rockin' workplace. Today, Marshall Goldsmith is going to share some tips with us on how to get that promotion. Let's get started.
Preparing yourself for succession. I wrote an article in the Harvard Business Review called How Not to Lose the Top Job. And it's not written for the CEO, it's written for the potential successor to the job. A lot of what I wrote about in Harvard Business Review applies to anyone who's looking for that next job. What are some guidelines to prepare yourself for succession? Number one, learn who are the key stakeholders, not in your present job, but in your next job. For example, your peers. In your next job, you may be the boss of your peers. So it's very important to start establishing relationships with your peers, because you may realize you may be their next boss. Could be the peers of your present boss. And also learn who are going to be the decision makers in deciding whether or not you're going to get this job. Work with your existing manager and say, all right, looking at succession, who are the key people I need to have relationships with? They could be your direct reports, because they're still going to be in your part of the organization. They could be your peers. That's very common because you may be managing them directly. This could be a different level of customer that you're used to dealing with now. For example, you're dealing with customers at one level, your manager may be dealing with customers at a different level. Can you start to meet those customers? At the CEO level, it could be the board of directors. Maybe you're not the CEO now, you're not on the board perhaps, but if you're going to be considered for succession, you need to know these board members because they're going to be the ultimate decision makers in the process. Then you need to ask the question, what are the challenges I face not in my present job, but what are the challenges I face in my next job? What are the behavioral changes I need to make not to be successful where I am? What are the behavioral changes I need to make to be successful where I'm going? And very important then to get your manager involved, have it be introduced by your manager, get to know who these key stakeholders are, and begin to develop relationship with these key stakeholders before the succession process, not after. And by the way, realize it's not always easy. For example, your peers. They may not want you to have the next job. Maybe your customers have a relationship with your manager that's very positive. They may not want your manager to leave. Realize that it's not easy to be a successor. Be very sensitive to the role of your manager, because your manager is going to be a key stakeholder in this process. And involve your manager in helping you build the important relationships you're going to need, not to be a success where you are, but to be a success where you're going.
Hey, thanks for watching. What was your single biggest takeaway from today's episode? Leave it in the comments below. Did you find something unusually useful? Then don't forget to share it with a friend. And remember, as always, please subscribe to the channel. Remember, rockin' workplaces happen because people like you and me show up and do the work. I'll see you next week.